Hello! I said in my ASM 24 video that if it got enough likes, I would do a review on Miles Morales 1 through 5, and it did! Yay! So thanks everybody for watching and leaving good feedback. I'm very happy about that, and that it turned out very well. So today we're going to be doing a review of Spider-Man Miles Morales 1 through 5. Came out in 2020, 2023. This is the first arc titled Trial by Spider. Written by Cody Ziegler, art by Federico Vincentini, colors by Brian Valenza. Hope I got all those names right. So let's just get right into it. This is a good book. I enjoyed my time reading that, and that's something I really can't say compared to the mainline book right now. So we already have a pretty big dub there. This is a good place to start for Miles if you haven't read him before and are just familiar with his character a little. It almost feels like this story could have taken place in the PlayStation game universe if you switched around a couple details. Like, if you played that game, you could pick this up and not have many, or if any, questions. Same with just watching Into the Spider-Verse. It's not lore-intensive or heavy with other books. It's just a good Spider-Man story. So we start issue number 1 with a fight against a classic Spider-Man villain, Scorpion. Starting this series with this fight sets the theme of the arc. Same problems, new upgrades. The standout of this entire arc, though, was the character voices. They are so good. Every character sounds unique, and they have their own voice. At no point does it sound stuffy. They read like actual people talking, and because of that, the scenes are elevated. So I'm going to talk about the villain now. That's the Rabble, also known as Ranine. She was pretty cool. She has a cool superpower that easily fits in the Miles Spider-Man world. She's able to talk to and influence electronics. You know, it's nothing crazy, but I enjoy it. I think it's a good power to go against them. And she's also, clearly comic book evil. The one-liner she says, I am the envoy of death. It's a little gimmicky, but I think that's the point. It's Spider-Man. It's supposed to be a little fun like that. I like her motivation, though, that she was the one away from Miles in terms of the school drawing lottery. For him to get into the institute, he was picked in a lottery, and he was number 42 and she was number 41, and he was picked. So, and she's held that resentment of oh, who was picked ahead of me? Who had that chance? And meanwhile, earlier in the book, before Miles knew it was her and knew that about her, he was thinking oh, what have I done with this chance given to me? Am I making the most of it? What if somebody else was here? They probably could have done better than I did. So to have that personal conflict and then outer conflict come together and clash. Yeah, some people might say it's a little convenient that, oh, she has superpowers and was able to go after him for that. But, I like it. It fits the book. Talking about my favorite supporting character in this, we love Misty Knight on this channel. I'm just going to say that. Her inclusion in this story as the seen-it-all detective who becomes a mentor for Miles, I loved it. It just works. And at the end of the story, they are officially, teamed up, meaning there's going to be more adventures with them. I just enjoy her character because she has a lot of strong personality traits that you really don't see in a lot of women Marvel characters. And I can go off listing them here if you want. She's just she don't need no man. But she's very caring. She's almost like a motherly figure to Miles in this. She gives actual good advice to Miles, which he needs to hear and which he actually listens to. And come to think of it, Miles has the same problem Peter does right now, and it's just hilarious how well-mannered he handles it compared to Peter does in the main book. And he does get a little combative and a little fighty, but he decides to act rationally and listen and doesn't run away from Misty and be like, oh, I need to do it on my own. And I want to mention this really cool lightning sword scene. This is me kind of theorizing, but I believe that the reason he's able to do this is simply because he needs to do it. His powers are kind of unpredictable like that, and they just kind of manifest to protect him when he needs to be protected. And in this instance, he needed a sword, so his powers, gave him a lightning sword. And I think that's just awesome for obvious reasons. Also love the battle-worn Spider-Man suit look, and this one from Miles just hits different for me. I might be reading too much into it, but I think this shows off the two parts of Miles coming together right now in the finale of this arc to both fight the rabble. Like, you can see, you know, the Spider-Man half and then the Miles half, and they've aligned finally to their full strength. That's just my thought. So, you know, if I had to give some criticism, you know, it would be that it's not that deep of a comic. However, really, does that matter for a book like this? I feel like the Rabble's motivation is good for a comic villain. It makes more sense than a lot of others. But, you know, her way of going about it is nothing we haven't seen before. You know, go after their family, burn down their house, blah, blah. You know, that's fine. There are no groundbreaking new themes that will really challenge the medium. I mean, the character struggle Miles has of managing his two lives and learning to separate them is a main staple of superhero comics. Like, it's been done before, it's gonna continue to be done for a long, long time. But, all that said, this is done well enough and competently written that it just gets a really good rating from me. Because not everything published needs to further define the genre or even challenge what's been written before. No, see, sometimes you can just have a fun book with easy to follow heroes, villains, and beautiful art, and for me that makes everything pretty okay. So I'd give this an 8 out of 10 in total. I really recommend it to anybody who's a fan of Miles. It's just 5 issues, pretty easy to read. I say, you know, what's the worst that could happen? If anything, at the very least, you get to look at some good art, okay? Well, that's about all I have today. Thanks everybody for watching. I have a couple dates here. Well, tomorrow, April 26th, there's going to be a Green Arrow #1 video. On May 10th, expect a video for Amazing Spider-Man #25. And on May 31st, expect a pretty wild issue of Amazing Spider-Man #26. So May 31st, mark your calendars. That's going to be a big video. I have a lot of stuff I'm going to plan for it. I'm going to film something separate. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be a production. A lot of good stuff's going into it. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for your support. It really means a lot. Have a nice day.